Hey grade 6, new video for you guys. We're going to move on in our study of geometry and this time look at constructing angles. And so that should be exciting. You're going to need your protractors for sure. Yep, so our goal by the end of this lesson is that you're going to be able to construct angles using grid paper and also using protractors. So here is where we start. We have one little drawing here. We use capital letters when we name these things. So for example, here we have, just draw a little circle around this. So this is point A. And then when we talk about like line segments, again, capital letters, this would be like line segment AB. And we would label that, well, maybe I'll try to draw a straight line so I can actually label it. And I think that's the tool I'm going to use. So here's my line segment, and then obviously line segments have to have points on either end, and then you label it, again, capital letters, not lowercase, capital letters. So I would say this is line segment AB, and then you could bust out a ruler, and you could actually measure line segment AB. And let's see, if we do that for a second, I find that this line segment is about 10.5 centimeters. So I would write, nope, 10.5. Okay, so again, point A, this is line segment AB. That's how we do that. All right. Now, the next one here, we have this drawing. It's a quadrilateral. It has a diagonal line in it. And we're going to focus on starting to name angles. To name an angle, you have to name the vertex, right? And so to make it clear that you're naming an angle and not anything else, for example, a triangle, we use an angle sign before the letters, right? The angle sign just actually looks like a little angle, just like this. Now in this picture, there's actually a bunch of different angles that we could name. There's only two, and I'm gonna circle them in red. There's only two that we can actually just use the one letter. So we could say this has angle B, and then this has angle D. Okay, so I use the symbol so that you know what I'm talking about, and then I name the one specifically. Actually, all the other angles in it, because of this diagonal line, you have to list them using actually three letters. And so, for example, if I want to measure or want to name this part of the angle, I actually have to say that it's angle BAC, or, and it goes both ways, I can say that it's angle CAB. So what I notice here that I have to start on the end of one arm. So I can say here, here, and here. So BAC, or I can say that it's CAB. It still means this part of the angle. Okay, so that's one way to name that stuff, and just get rid of some. Now, if I want to name, use a different color. Let's say I want to name this part of the angle. Okay, I could say that that is angle CAD, or I could also say, and again, it's totally acceptable, I could say that that's angle DAC. What you have to understand is it's the middle letter that is the vertex that we're talking about. Always the middle letter. Okay, so I've named this angle both ways. The other one I can name is these two angles rather. Okay, so if I wanted to name this angle, I would say that's angle BCA, and again, the C is in the middle, that's the vertex. Or I could say angle ACB. Again, the vertex that I'm looking at is in the middle. And then lastly is this other angle right here. So I could say that that is angle ACD, or I could say that's angle DCA. It means the same thing, but again, the vertex that I'm focusing on is in the middle. And then, like I said, so that's all of the angles in this shape that are now named. Like I said, angle B and angle D, there's no confusion. There's no possible way that it could be anything else. So it is just, you can just say angle B or angle D. Now, what you can do is take a quick break or pause the video and my lovely voice, and you can actually work on numbers 1 and 2. and that practices a bit of naming stuff. You can actually work on a number 4 if you'd like. Number 3 we're going to talk about for just a sec. So, okay. So this says to let's review the angles 90, 45, and 35. So if I have an angle here, this is going to be my 90-degree angle, and then I can have my little symbol. That's my 90. I could have my I'll just undo that one. I could have my 45. Okay, that's my 45-degree angle. And I could have my 135, which I remember it goes back the other way. Oh, no, still want the straight line feature. Technology is great as long as it works. Okay, so these are my benchmark, 3 of my benchmark angles. The last one that I talked about was the straight angle, which we don't really need to. It's just the 180, okay? And then again, we typically talk about these things having arrows because they're rays extending from a common vertex, which is the definition for an angle. But I don't want to get too crazy about that stuff. Anyway, these are our 4 benchmark angles, okay? So what it says is they would like us to draw a ray, which the ray is already drawn for us. I might move it away from the watermark, but I would need to unlock it first. And see if, oh, there we go. I'll just move it over here, and then I will lock it back in place. Okay, it says to place the protractor so that the origin is on the end point of the ray and the baseline lines up with the ray. Sounds very confusing. Remember that this point here is the origin, so all that means is I'm going to move this over so that the origin of the protractor and the baseline of the ray line up. So this is going to be an angle probably that opens to the right. So I'm going to be using the inside scale. So what I need to do is, using this inside scale, I need to make a mark at 110 degrees, which is going to be right here. And then I'm going to move the protractor out of the way. So then what I have is I have this ray that I've drawn, and I'm going to draw a straight line using my ruler to the dot that I drew. And then what I've done is I have drawn a 110 degree angle. Okay. Now, at this point, you can stop for a quick sec and you can do number 3. Or if you haven't done any of the questions yet, you can also stop and just do like 1 to 4. And then pick it up when you've kind of finished that stuff. So that's my angle anyway. That's 110 degrees. Okay. And then again, this is just to use the stuff. So you can also pause it here and work on numbers 5 and 6. But I don't have any other explanation. That is how to draw an angle. Okay. So line up the origin. Actually, I'll just move the protractor over again just to remind us. That the origin, that's this part right here, needs to line up with the one endpoint of the ray. And then you got to figure out, remember to use which of the inside or outside scale you're going to use. And then if you're going to use the inside scale, then just say, okay, so the baseline will be lined up at 0. Just count over how big you need to draw it. So if you're drawing like a 60-degree angle, so if I line my stuff up over here, and if I'm going to draw, a 60-degree angle, then I'm going to move up the inside and then draw a point right there. Then I'm going to either move my protractor away, or I can actually use the bottom line and then draw technology, and then draw a straight line through that angle so that what I've drawn here is this is a 60-degree angle, and that's how I use the protractor to draw my angles, okay? And so that's really it. There's only 2 pages, and you've got a couple questions left. Number 8 kind of focuses on drawing specific angles and then labeling them with all the things that you need to do, right? So you need to label the points, make sure that they're raised, make sure they extend from the common point, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to keep it under 10 minutes today. Work on your stuff in the workbook. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.